Let me show you exactly what a car dealer case study for digital marketing looks like. No fluff, no games, none of this attribution play, just direct correlations that make logical sense. Let's look at it now. The dealer I'm looking at, this is straight out of their CRM, a lot of numbers here. But let's just focus on sold because guess what? If we're doing car sales campaigns, the number one thing we need to look at is sold cars. August 1st through 2023 versus August 31st, 2023. This dealer sold 14 cars. Small dealer. Not a good look, right? Not a good look. This year, August 1st, 2024 versus August 31st, 2024, they sold 78 cars. Well, that's a big jump. 5 times as much, in fact. How did we get here? How does this even make sense? This can't all be marketing, right? Well, let me explain. There's a few things that have gone into this. Notice a couple of other numbers. If we look here, new ups and internet ups, 349 and 258 last year, compared to 659 and 472 this year. They have more showroom ups, 60 versus 97. Their closing rate got way better because they didn't double the amount of showroom ups that they have or 5x the amount of showroom ups they have. They just did a really good job of getting the people in and closing them. All the numbers look great in this example. And this I want to use as a case study because when I talk about the analytics in a second, the digital marketing, the advertising overall was a big part of the reason why this dealer was able to succeed, but it wasn't the only reason. There were other factors too. Management and ownership being on board with scaling and their goals were aligned. They want to just sell more freaking cars. That's a big part of it. Another part, they're willing to create loss leaders. They're willing to be a cheaper price on new vehicles to bring traffic in. Our advertising that we're doing, they're also doing other things in addition, third parties and Cars.com and AutoTrader and TrueCar and trying what works. Third, they're willing to spend money on advertising, right? That is such a big key. And I'm going to get into it now. Third, they actually have way more inventory. This franchise did not have a lot of inventory last year. And if you don't have the product, then you can't sell the product. If you don't have the cars, you can't sell the cars. But now this store finally has vehicles, only because they played the game with the manufacturer. They were friendly when they had to be, and they were strong-willed when they had to be. They were willing to show promise and growth and development, and they got new vehicles. They got more of them. So third, it's inventory. These are all three things that are out of our control, right, as the advertiser. But fourth, they made a large investment in advertising. And they made a large investment, the largest investment in Google Ads. A lot of that is a section of vehicle listing ads, which I talk about a lot on this channel. And these, the way we've constructed the campaigns, the way we have efficiently tested different methodologies, the way we have different goals broken out for each new car, that is what yielded such a big increase in opportunities as well. So when I look at their traffic, when I'm looking at the 1st through 31st of 24 versus last year, we got 217% more new users to the website directly from our Google Ads campaigns. 8,600 new users versus 2,700 new users. Not only are we getting new users, though, we're getting engaged sessions, 10,500 to be exact. Our engagement rate is at 94%. It's actually way higher than when we had less cars. Makes sense. Engaged sessions per user, they're averaging 1.17 minute and 11 seconds engagement time. That's different than average session duration. So they're engaging with the site. We're driving more traffic. But it's not just about driving traffic. Are we driving the key events that we need to make sure we have leads? Same dealer now. I'm looking at a custom report that I have and my team has developed for tracking appropriate key events and analytics. And I want to show you this. This is month over month now. This isn't year over year. But I want to show you not only are they doing 5 times better than last year, but they're actually even doing better than last month. And we're seeing more and more growth. So I'm looking at not quite a month to date, but I only have certain date range limits in this exploration table. But it's an even date range, and I want to show you what's going on. In our Google Ads, we added additional budget. At the top here, we're looking at Google CPC in this column, or this row. On the top here, each one of these columns are ASC events. I talked about this on my channel if you're familiar with Brian Pash. Automotive Standards Council, they are the most regulated form of conversion tracking available, industry that is. So when we look at here, we got media interactions. Guess what? We're up 25% in media interactions. Page views, we're up 30%. Okay, that makes sense. Item page views, that's like a BDP, up 31%. Item list page view, that's an SRP, we're up almost 30%. Element configuration, that's people playing with the filters, we're up about 40%. Menu interactions, we're up about 33%, 34%. CTA interactions, people playing with call to action buttons and links that are associated with CTAs, we're up 30%. Click to calls, we're up almost 100% just from Google Ads. These are just Google Ads numbers, guys. I'm not reading the totals here. I'm just reading just from our Google Ads campaigns. Event form engagements were up almost 90%. Form submissions right here were up 81%. Form submission sales were up 80%. You know, people think form submission sales are dead. Well, they're not the most effective, but they still work. And then we have parts, and then this looks like a AC form submission appointment. So these two are not relevant for this account because we don't have campaigns going towards them. But we're up all this in traffic. We were able to configure Google Ads in a way where we just figured out what the dealer was doing, fine-tune the goals, fine-tune the campaigns, made sure we're going after the right events, and that's what yielded to a successful Google Ads campaign. Now, we have to keep this up, right? Because Google, in this instance, is the largest sole advertising investment in this dealer's marketing strategy. I'm going to repeat myself. Google Ads is the largest sole advertising expense in this car dealer's advertising budget. And one more time, all their money is on Google, right? They have other third parties, they have other forms of advertising, but 40% of the budget is dedicated to Google Ads. But again, Google Ads alone or any marketing alone isn't going to sell cars. If you want to have outstanding increases in selling cars, if you want to actually see the needle move, if you want to actually do way better and just stop talking about it and actually do it, you need to have those 4 key things. Number 1, ownership and management has to really and truly believe that they need to get better. And then they need to put the people in place for the team to get better. This store, after many, many months, has an awesome team. They do the right job. They're youthful minded. They're hungry. They want to do things. So it's really good. Second is loss leaders. They have really, really aggressive pricing models on a lot of their new cars because that's going to bring in leads. They're willing to be lower than their competition and then attract the customers. And then when those customers get in the door, it's their job to sell them a car and make it profitable. That's old school blocking and tackling 101, the stuff that we need to get back to as car dealers in post-COVID times. Third is they are willing to spend money on advertising. Holy cow. You have to be willing to spend money on advertising. Third is they have the inventory. And believe me, just as you saw from the stats from last year, they didn't always have the inventory. But they played the games with the manufacturer. They steadily grew. We didn't just dump all money all at once. It took months and months, almost a year to actually get to this point. But there was a strategy involved. And once they figured out they were going to get more inventory, Then comes the fourth piece. They were willing to increase money and expense on advertising. They were willing to invest in growing their business. The owner was willing to sacrifice dollars in the short term to grow his store in the long run. He understood what it takes to actually build it from nothing. And now they're on their way to becoming a powerhouse. And then it's just cyclical, because the more inventory they get and the better systems and processes they have, then you're going to start to see that increase and increase and increase and increase. So again, that fourth piece, though, they understood they had to spend money in advertising and increase it significantly. But not only that, they wanted to do it the right way. They wanted to actually do it in a sense where, hey, I want to give the investment dollars to stuff that we know or we can see really working. And you saturate that piece first. And then you'll move your way up the marketing funnel. Google Ads is all the way at the bottom. But countless times, myself, my team have seen Google Ads for car dealers just set up completely wrong. If you want to know what it's going to be or what it's going to take to get these type of results, right, then let me know. Let me know in the comments. Submit on my website. Whatever you want to do, I'm more than willing to share the strategy of what's going to happen, because it's our job and my job to be able to give this knowledge to anyone that wants to use it. That's what I believe is going to make a difference in this industry. But again, it's not just advertising. That's one component. There are 3 other components that you have. But if you believe that you have a good management staff or good enough management staff to get it rolling in the right direction, if you believe that you have the inventory and you believe in the idea of loss leaders, then with the right advertising component, you can achieve similar results. This is David Feldman-Makrias showing a 5x increase in car sales year over year for a dealer in one of the hardest times to sell cars since the Great Recession. Thanks, guys. Let me know. Happy to answer questions, and I'll see you next time.